Ladies and gentlemen, when you think of America, you think of a number of things. Hot dogs, Chevrolets, Cadillacs, and this man.
The American. That's right, it's the return of the legendary Ask an American section.
How you doing?
Welcome back to the show, American.
Thank you guys very much for having me. I'm very excited to be here as usual. You know, things have been hectic lately.
Why particularly hectic?
You know, a lot of things going on in America right now, and I have to focus on, you know, the home turf. But I'm psyched to be back. By the way, yeah, psyched, that means like excited, you know.
Oh, right.
It's like American, it's an American expression.
Oh, I thought it was, you were psychologically ready.
Both. It actually has dual meanings.
Oh, good, good. So, Andy, do you want to kick straight off?
Yeah, the first question for the American comes from Jodie Major in Kent, who asks, when I was at school, we were paired off for a project with American counterparts as pen pals. My American counterpart's first question was whether we in Britain had electricity or not. This question was made more absurd by the fact that I was emailing her. In light of this, I would like to ask the American when it was he found out that we do in fact have electricity in Britain.
Jody, that is a good question. But first, let me tell you this. Here's what's misleading about your question. You call it a pen pal, yet it's through email. So first of all, you should really call it an email pal, and then we'd all be on the same page here. And maybe your American friend wouldn't be so confused. So first of all, first mistake is on you.
Yeah, but if you say the same page, if it's on email, you say we're on the same screen.
It was a pun. It was a pun. It's a play on words.
Oh, that's right. Nice try, Andy. You can't trip him up with that kind of logic game.
You know, it's good to be back. I thought you guys were on my side. Anyway, second of all, about electricity, I think everyone here is well aware that, you know, England has electricity. You know, you guys stole it from us.
Whoa.
It's an invention that we came up with.
What?
You know, the world then caught on. I mean, of course, you stole it from us. You tried to make it your own. You know, like your plug sockets are those stupid little holes that none of our things fit into, which doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, ours are slits. Why would you want holes in your wall when you could have slits? It just makes more sense. Yet another thing that the Americans came up with. You know, we come up with all good inventions that make the world hum. Like, say, cars, planes.
Yeah.
Boats, you know.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Hold on a second. I can't let that last one go through.
Why is that?
Boats.
Yeah.
You didn't invent boats. You were invented by boats.
Yeah, you're talking about like the old wooden ships, those things. I'm talking about nice boats, like the kind of boat you can zip around the lake, water ski off the back of. You know, maybe pick up some chicks on. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna bring, like a Spanish war galleon out to the Jersey Shore for the weekend? What are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like a nice boat.
Francis Drake picked up more chicks on his boat than you've had hot dinners.
That might be true, but I could beat him in a race any day of the week, and I could pull skis off the back of my boat.
The next question is from Dave Hyde, who says, after only 12 months, it seems the American owners of Liverpool Football Club are about to sell up and leave. In that short time, they have promised not to finance a new stadium through risky loans, attempted to finance a new stadium through risky loans, publicly humiliated a world-class manager by admitting trying to replace him, and done nothing but cause chaos and instability and turn the fans against them, and they are still likely to make a huge profit from the sale of the club. If your American was to purchase a British sporting institute, which one would it be, and what changes would he make to it?
I don't really understand anything that you guys just said to me with that question. There's really a lot of, like, pops and clicks. I didn't really get much of it. But I could tell you this, just to answer very quickly, I would never buy something that's not American, especially at that scale, because it just doesn't make sense. I mean, if you want a quality product, it better say made in the USA on it. That's just kind of a rule I like to live by. And that goes with clothing, automobiles, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring up boats again. I know how sensitive everybody gets. You know, anything good usually is made here in America. And as far as football clubs go, I'm assuming, you know, you're referring to soccer, which is what we call it here.
No, don't say that. Don't
I
say
know
that
people
word.
hate that word, but look, it's a good word.
We invented it.
Yeah.
We had that word first.
Well, we had football first, though. No. You know, the good kind.
No, you didn't, though.
You don't even make your ball out of pigskin. That makes very little sense to me. Why would you not? Well, I mean, what's better than pigskin? You know, you had so much of it lying around from all the bacon we're all eating. Just use it for sports. Just use it for sports.
You've got to give him that, Andy.
Yeah,
I mean, we're like the Native Americans in America. We let nothing go to waste. We make lacrosse sticks out of whale blubber. Nothing goes to waste here. Nothing.
That could be the most inaccurate thing you've said so far. Nothing goes to waste in America.
My response to David Hyde Pierce over there would be, don't buy anything unless it says made in the USA on it. And, you know, I don't really understand the rest of the question.
Although most of your clothes are probably made in China.
I guess. All I know is they say made in the USA.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, we own a good amount of China, so it's really the same thing. It's really the same thing. At this point, we own so much of the world that wherever it's made, it's kind of still made in the USA.
Oh, but you're in for a very unpleasant surprise in 10 years.
I think, John, that answer shows perhaps why Liverpool fans are slightly sceptical about the extent of American influence in their soccer club.
So, Andy, do you have any other questions for him?
I do have a question for the American, and that is, who do you want to win the presidential election?
I get this a lot on my late-night drive talk show. Electing the president is one of the largest, if not probably the largest responsibility in the world.
That's true.
Because when you elect the American president, you're really electing the president of the world. Okay, so there's a lot on our shoulders because we know that our leader kind of ends up running the world, which, look, we're fine with that. You know, I mean,
You've done a great job so far.
But well, thank you. And I'll tell you this. I'll give you a clue. I don't know exactly, and I don't want to, tip anybody off out there because, we like surprises. I'll give you an idea. He'll most likely be a man, most likely be white, and he'll definitely hate you people. That's what I can imagine. Okay. How you doing? And, when you have a lot of responsibility like that, if you're going to be tough on America, all these people out there, they say they hate America, the terrorists, they want to kill us. You have to understand, if you understood how we looked at the world and the responsibility we have to the world to us is like a little baby, and we have to take care of that little baby. And if people realize that that's how we view the world, I think they would hate us less.
On recent evidence, you've been giving that baby some fairly tough love. I mean, there's some kind of Victorian-style parenting going on.
Hey, the kid tries to bite your hand, you got to knock him in the head every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Some of my parents did for me. I think I turned out pretty good.
Sometimes if a baby's crying, maybe you should pick it up and cuddle it rather than put it in a different room and ignore it.
It all depends on your philosophy. And right now, our kids are doing stuff. They're like, sneaking out after curfew. Yeah. They're like, they're coming home late. Your daughter, right now, our daughter, she's banging the football captain in the back of my car. I lent her my car. I got a minivan. I got to deal with that. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I'm not sure that we've lost the metaphor and now gone into an extract from your life.
I'm just saying, you're dealing with slutty people, and you got to sometimes knock them around.
Well, thank you very much,
thank you, American.
It's been an explosive return to form.
Always a pleasure to spend some time with you guys.
And hopefully we'll see you very soon.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, great.
So keep your questions for the American coming into the Bugle at timesonline.co.uk. And now, in a unique development in the history of broadcasting, two sections of the Bugle are merged into one. It's Ask an American Sport.
So we have the American here. He is wearing an American football helmet, a basketball vest, and is swinging a baseball bat around the studio, smashing everything he sees. Hello, American. It's great to have you here.
Hey, how you doing?
So, as American, you are a fan of sports, I presume?
Fan. I eat and breathe sports every day. That's all I do.
And there's a huge sporting day, of course, which is coming up for us now, but will have just happened when this Bugle goes out, and that is Super Bowl Sunday. Now, what on earth is that about?
Well, first of all, it's beyond a huge sporting day. It's one of the most important days in the entire year for the whole world, because it's the world championship of the greatest sport ever invented, football, the good kind.
We didn't get to enter
What?
No British team has entered.
You have to understand this. We call it the world championship because there's just an assumption that no one else in the world could beat any of our teams. And I think at this point, if anyone could, they probably would have stepped up to the plate, but nobody has. So up to you, world. You want to challenge the New York Giants or the New England Patriots to football, American football? Go ahead. Do it. See what happens. See if you win. You too, Canada. You're invited too. And that's a rare thing for me to invite Canada anywhere.
Now, for those of you that don't know, the Super Bowl this year will be fought between the New England Patriots and the New York Giants. Now, as a British person, my problem with the New England Patriots isn't just sporting, it's primarily history-based.
I don't know if anyone out there knows, but I'm more of a New York kind of guy. New England is not my favorite place on earth, but it's still better than Old England.
Oh, come on!
It's true. I mean, believe me, there's a lot of improvements that need to be made to New England. I won't ever compare York to New York because that's obviously, there's no need. Yeah, New England, it's like they took England, they polished it up a little bit, they sassed up the accent, and they went on with their thing. And they have a decent team this year. They haven't lost yet. That's their whole thing. Oh, we haven't lost, so we're really good. And that doesn't mean anything to me because they're playing the New York Giants.
What would your recommendations be for watching the Super Bowl as citizens of the world? I mean, how should we watch a game that doesn't really make sense to us?
We take it pretty seriously. We do stuff like we grill sausage before the game. And, you know, sometimes we'll just sit in the parking lot. We love sitting in parking lots in general and eating meat. That's like a big thing here in America. So my suggestion to people in England or anywhere in the world would be, first thing you want to do is find a nice big parking lot.
Okay.
Second, you want to get a big truck of some kind that, you know, uses a lot of gas or petrol, whatever the hell you call it.
Yeah.
And then what you want to do is sit out behind the truck. You can leave the exhaust going. Doesn't really matter. Get like some kind of a barbecue pit and just start cooking meat. I would recommend sausage. Sit in a parking lot, eat some meat, and then enjoy the game.
Right.
And is it true that if you cook the right kind of sausage on the right kind of barbecue and then slice it open, you can predict the result of the game from the inside of the sausage, what it looks like?
Yeah, that's a fact. You probably have read that article I wrote for the New England Journal of Medicine that never got published. This is true. If the sausage splits to the left, the home team, I would say 40% of the time, will lose.
Also, of course, the Super Bowl is technically on at 1 in the morning in terms of the correct time for the world. That's quite late to be eating large quantities of meat.
First of all, no, it's not. Large quantities of meat can be eaten at any time.
Oh, right. I didn't realise
Yeah,
that.
that's just, well, of course you didn't. Second of all, yeah, I don't know why you guys would do that. I also don't understand why your time's so screwed up. I don't know why you would be 6 hours ahead of us. I mean, it doesn't make sense. It's like our time is the world's time.
Britain invented time.
Pretty sure
Before
that's not
Britain
true.
came into being in 1066, there was no time. That's
Right.
why the Roman Empire lasted so long.
Right. I don't want to start debating history with you, but I can tell you this. We invented the clock, okay?
But, well, I mean, what do you think of our sports, the real football and cricket?
Real football.
Yeah.
You guys are adorable with that. I'll tell you, when I was a kid, I played soccer, you know, and I think as far as, you know, kid sports go, it's fun. You run around a little bit.
Ouch.
You got the shin guards on.
Oh,
but I'm
God,
saying
that
when you
hurts.
grow up and you become a man, you want to play a man sport, something that you can, you know, really get hurt playing.
What about rugby, American? Be very excited, if you like man sport so much, about the start of the Six Nations Championship. What's your predictions, bearing in mind that this is being recorded before the Six Nations Games? What do you think is going to happen in the first weekend?
Well, I would tell you this about the Six Nations games. There's probably 6 mediocre nations involved, because I don't think America's involved in that. So right out of the gate, I would change the title to like 6, you know, decent nations games. And if they're playing rugby, yeah, that's a good sport. It's a fun, again, that's like, you know, Sunday afternoon, you're out with your friends, you drink a few beers, you tackle each other.
I'm surprised that you don't like rugby more, because you've got all the violence and the contact of American football with none of the vital medical protection. You get to bite each other's ears in rugby, and if you tried that in American football, you just get a mouthful of helmet.
That's true. That's true. But I got to tell you this, the thing that doesn't appeal to me about rugby is there's no good sponsors. Like, I watch football, and I'm going to see, like, a lot of really funny beer ads, you know? So even in between the plays, I'm laughing and I'm entertained. Or, like, maybe a truck ad. Maybe I'll see a truck pull an airplane or something, you know? Which is, believe me, if you're going to own a pickup truck, it should be able to pull an airplane. I mean, that's a relevant thing for it to be able to do.
What about the complexities and the storytelling of cricket?
Again, this, you know, cricket to me, it's like you took baseball, you screwed with it a little bit, and now you have a weird game. I don't understand. We made a perfectly good game. Baseball, it's perfect. You invent a game like baseball, and then you know, then it's like that game Telephone when you're a kid. I whisper something in your ear, and it comes out a little bit differently. That's what cricket is to me. I don't even understand.
Is that what you call that game, Telephone?
Yeah, where you whisper in somebody's ear. You never played that when you were
Well,
a kid?
yeah, yeah.
It's like that's what I did when I was a kid. I played soccer and telephone. Those are like the 2 things that went hand in hand.
This is true, we call that game Chinese Whispers, which I think
Wow.
is probably a little more racist.
Yeah, it is a little bit more racist. But, you know, but again, America's not really a racist country. So we would never have a game called Chinese Whispers. Our country's not founded on racism. Our country's founded on old-fashioned American ethics.
In your appearances on the Bugle, you've made some outlandish claims, and I think that is your most outlandish claim.
Check the history books. Look up a holiday like Thanksgiving. It's Indians and white people eating a good meal together. That's all it is. And then afterwards they said, this is good food. Take some of our land. Enjoy it. We'll move west. Whatever's good for you.
That turkey was so delicious.
Yeah.
We secede all demands over this territory.
Yeah. They're like, what do you want? Kentucky? Give us more turkey. Just name a state. Make a state. We don't care. Just draw weird lines on the map and it's yours. Just give us more of that delicious food. And in the future, some casinos.
What is your prediction for the game, American?
Quick prediction?
Yeah.
I would say New York, 78.
Wow.
New England, 3.
Wow.
But look, I'm just reading the sausages here. I don't know what to tell you.
Right, I think we're going to have to wrap up the Ask an American Sports section there. American, thank you, as always.
Yeah, no problem. Go Giants.
It's time for the section of sections. Everybody's favourite. Please welcome, in the red, white and blue corner, the American!
Yes, it is the long-awaited return of the Ask an American section.
I love this man!
This week, the American is joining us by phone from within the nose of Abraham Lincoln on Mount Rushmore, where he is communing with his nation's history. Hello, American.
Hello, I just want to clarify to the world, I'm actually not in Abe Lincoln's nose. That is absolutely false.
Oh, right.
I'm in Thomas Jefferson's eyelid.
Oh, sorry.
So it's a distinction. I was actually in Abe Lincoln's nose, but I couldn't get cell service. So I had to get up to Tommy J's eyelid over here.
Do you get better reception in Tommy J's
well,
eyelid?
It's a higher altitude. And I got one of these iPhones now, so, I'm just thrilled to be using it.
So you have to use it in an eye, because it's an eye.
Oh, exactly.
There you go.
Boom, right?
There you go. I'm here all week.
Hey, it's not called a nose phone, right, guys?
Hey, testify.
Hey, testify. How you doing?
First, American, I wanted to ask you about the entry of Ralph Nader into the presidential race. I mean, will you be voting for Nader?
Hold on, let me finish vomiting over here, right? Let me tell you why this guy drives me nuts, this Nader guy, okay? He's living on a principle that anybody can be president, and that's absolutely not true, okay? The position of president has always been and shall always be held by people with a lot of money, people with high influence, and people with good connection to the power elite of this country.
Well, I thought it was the American dream that anyone could be president. That's the point, isn't it? That's what you people like.
Please, it's something we tell school children so they don't cry, all right? What are you going to tell a kid? You're going to be a plumber? Think about it. Rich people are smarter than poor people. It's just a fact, okay? And that's why those people will always lead the country.
Why don't you embrace monarchy, then? We've been trying this for years. You kicked us out. You
Monarchy,
could have had this
disgusting.
system.
That's just a disgusting philosophy. Why would we want the same type of people running the country? It doesn't make any sense. What I'm talking about is democracy done right, American style. Yeah, I mean, I could have my eggs over easy, but why would I when scrambled tastes so good?
I'm not sure what that means, but that's a hell of a sentence.
Well, it's a thinker, all right? You think about that one for a while. Maybe get back to me next week.
Now, we have this email from Christopher Luponi. It's addressed to John and I. He writes, is your hate for America so bitter and vitriolic that you must have someone from the putative Garden State as your sample American?
Uh-oh.
Everyone here knows that most of New Jersey is a vast, barren, suburban wasteland.
This is how it's always been for people from New Jersey our whole lives, okay? I'm going to roll a guess out there. This guy's from probably one of the lamest states in the country. Something like Iowa or Pennsylvania or something like that, right?
It is Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Oh, boom. Of course it's Pennsylvania, every time. This is what it was like growing up. If you're from New Jersey, anyone from anywhere else always says something like, where are you from? New Jersey? Ew, gross. Right? Doesn't matter. The guy could be from Iowa and say, hey, buddy, I grew up 20 miles from Manhattan. You lost your virginity to corn. In my opinion, he's not worldly like I am. He hasn't traveled to all the places I've been to, okay? Which is like, I went to Puerto Rico one time and stuff. And then on top of that, he's from a place like Pennsylvania. So what does he even know? I mean, what do they have? They probably don't even have the internet in Pennsylvania yet.
I think it's very interesting for Britain to hear that basically the Civil War in America still rages on.
I'll tell you, the worst thing that happened in this country, I'll tell you right now, is that the Civil War ended the way it did, okay?
Oh, my God.
Because if we had two separate Americas, we wouldn't have any conflict over here.
Actually, there's probably a very coherent argument for that.
It's absolutely true.
Do you think the North should have thrown the war?
I think the North should have stepped back and said, you know what, take it. It's a swamp anyway. We don't want it.
Regarding your rant about American football, now this has 3 points to it. It comes from John Foster in Kingston, Ontario, in Canada.
Of course it does. Of course it does.
Yep.
Canadian, great. First a guy from Pennsylvania, then a guy from Canada. Great. Two of the least relevant places in the world.
In the world?
The
Wow.
world.
John Foster writes, if you truly are a representation of all Americans, then how do you know about the existence of Canada? most Americans are completely oblivious to anything north of the 49th parallel. That you know that we are a country and that we are in close proximity to the USA shows that you are rather an atypical American. So that's actually a veiled compliment in some ways.
That is a veiled compliment. And I'm going to say this about Canada. For us, anyway, from where I'm from, it's only an 8-hour drive to hookers and casinos. And we've always appreciated that. But other than that, really, it's a kind of like, it's a forest. People there, they don't know which language they want to speak. They can't decide. Let's be honest. It's not the best place to live, you know. And as far as your clout in the world, it's like, you're probably like 4 rungs below Poland.
As well as being our representative American, are you also ambassador for Jersey, state ambassador?
Hey, if the position's open, I'm free. I've got some free time right now, currently unemployed. The economy's rough. Not the president's fault, though.
Thank you very much, American, for joining us once again.
Of course, anytime, guys. Give me a call.
So, if you have any further questions for the American, do email them in to thebugle@timesonline.co.uk.
He's back to answer all your questions, American base. Please give a warm round of applause wherever you are in the world. Be upstanding for the American.
Thank you.
Great to have you back, American.
It's always a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be back. I got to tell you, I'm having a blast already.
How American are you feeling today?
Pretty good. I'm bleeding red, white, and blue today. I got to tell you, I
That
feel
could be French.
Pretty American. Yeah, that's true. But don't ever say that again, because it will annoy me. I'll give you 1 strike on that one, buddy.
It's been a while since we've spoken to you. I guess there's one thing that we wanted to know right off the bat.
By the way, baseball season has begun, huh? You feel that? You smell that, boys? Can you smell that in the air? Naugahyde, I think it's a...
I thought it was a mixture of mustard and human growth hormone.
So the first question we wanted to ask you is, obviously your election, which is, turning into one of the longest and most exciting elections in history, has thrown up some interesting quirks recently. What is a superdelegate?
Well, first thing, the most important thing to understand is that the American democratic system is the best democratic system in the world, and therefore the most complex democratic system in the world.
Right.
And what we like to do is we like to make it as, kind of confusing as possible for the layman so that the average man can't vote, because that's the trick to a good democracy.
It's the American dream.
Yeah, you want to disenfranchise as many poor people and confuse people as possible, so that sort of the upper echelon of society is the only one who's kind of involved.
I see.
That's the trick.
That's democracy at its very best.
At its best.
It's kind of like the ancient Greeks did it by not letting women vote.
Come on, that's how the founding fathers set it up. Let's be honest. That's how they dreamed it would be. But things change. The superdelegate is basically like if you go to vote, and then you finish voting, and then you get back online and you vote again. If you do that 25 times, you're kind of like a superdelegate. Like you just matter more in the system, which makes sense because certain people should matter more. In fact, there was a period of time they wanted me to be a superdelegate, but I turned it down. Yeah.
Why?
Well, just because I got other things going on.
What have you got going on, American? Apart from watching the baseball.
I don't want to get into that right now. You'll probably read about it soon, but I got other things on the table.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Other things on the table.
Other things on the table other than exercising your democratic rights.
Well, in fact, referring back to the poll that we referred to earlier in the show, saying that the world's opinion of America has got slightly better over the last year. Why do you think that is, American?
The thing that strikes me out about that question is that you're kind of implying that the world's opinion of America hasn't always been fantastic.
Uh-oh.
And I'm not quite sure why that would be.
Uh-oh.
You know what it is? I'll tell you about the world. You know what the world is right now? They're like in their teenage years. They're like the teenage daughter. They're mad at daddy because we won't lend her the keys to the station wagon, okay? But there's a reason. There's a reason for everything, okay? So as the world matures a little bit and starts to understand what it's like to be a superpower and what it's like to be in charge of things, I think the world will eventually come and thank us and say, you know what? Thank you, Dad. Even though you were tough on me when I was young and I was a kid, I learned the hard way, okay? That's what I did. I learned. Yeah, it's like making sure your kid has a job after school. That's what we're doing right now to the rest of the world. Teaching them a little bit of responsibility.
You keep saying the world, but you are part of that world.
Well, no. I would say we're like the district manager of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying we own it, but like we definitely like run it.
Do you think you could use the analogy of like a battered wife and an abusive husband? It's just this has gone on for so long. You've managed to convince us that you're looking after us and that we're actually driving you to act this way. It's all our fault.
Yeah, the thing is, I would never condone hitting, or violence.
You are not only condoning that, you are actively
No, but not against a woman. I mean, you bomb a country, you bomb a country. You know, it's a kind of a different thing.
Okay,
it's
so you
pretty messed up to hit your wife in the face, but you drop a couple of bunker busters on a Middle Eastern country. I think there's a little bit of a difference there.
But could you do that to your wife? Could you attack your wife as long as you're airborne?
Well, you know, I mean, I guess it's like a mile-high rule or something. I don't know. I mean, I personally wouldn't do it, but I'm sure you can justify it. People are sick. There's sick people out there. Let's not lie.
What if you were married to a rogue state?
Oh yeah.
How would that work out?
Where I'm from, it won't work out at all because you just won't do it.
Now, we actually have an email from one of our listeners here. This is from Dan Manning from Great Rapids, Michigan. He says, here's my question for the American. Recent polls have shown that a fifth of Americans can't locate the United States on a map. Why do you think this is?
Which map? A world map? I don't understand. America's the biggest, best-looking country on the map. I mean, seriously, it's beautiful. I mean, if you look at it, put it this way, if all the continents were chicks and you had to take one out for a date, you'd obviously pick America every time.
Actually, you probably would, Andy, to be fair.
It's got all the attributes. It's got the hottest look to
Africa's
it.
quite stacked up top.
Yeah, but it's kind of the inverse pear shape, whereas America's got curves in all the right places, Andy.
To me, Africa's got a little bit of like a man thing going on. I don't want to get involved there, America's nice and curvy. She's beautiful.
Although, to be honest, I don't know how you'd explain away Florida.
Dan Manning in Michigan, if people really can't find America on a map, I got to tell you, stay in school, kid, okay? Because, I mean, that's lesson one, know where you live, be able to get home. You get lost, you got to be able to get home.
Of course, the beauty of being British years and years ago, during the days of the British Empire, is that you could just point to any globe and go, well, that's us.
Yeah.
We basically had all of it. It made things a lot simpler.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like us right now in the world a little bit, Like, I always feel very comfortable when I'm traveling overseas and I stumble into a McDonald's. It's like a little piece of American soil, you know what I'm saying?
It's like an embassy, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an embassy, and if I was a Highlander, they couldn't decapitate me in a McDonald's. Kind of holy ground.
This comes from Warren Black in Belfast in Northern Ireland. He sent it a couple of weeks ago. He wrote, I've just seen the ex-governor of New York, Elliot Spitzer, giving a statement on Channel 4 News, and he sounds awfully like the American of Ask an American fame. Are they one and the same?
Wow.
Can you confirm or deny that you are Elliot Spitzer?
Wow, that is some question.
First of all, Mr. Black, thank you. Obviously, Elliot Spitz is a brilliant man, brilliant mind. And just because, he's got a little bit of a thing with the ladies. By the way, this is one thing, and I love America more than anybody.
No, I know
But this is one area where I think Europe's got us beat. Because in Europe,
Really?
if you're getting a little action on the side, which all powerful men should,
Yeah.
it keeps their mind clean, we make such a big deal out of this nonsense. Okay, what's the big deal, And it's like, all right, so the guy's, so what? He's spending state funds on, hookers. Big deal. Big deal. All right? The guy needs a clear head. He's got to do it. He's got a big job to do. New York is quite a state to manage.
It is
okay?
a big
It is
state.
this is not a kid state over here, okay? This is not the governor of Delaware. That guy, I'm like, keep it in your pants, buddy. This is New York, And I normally not do complimentary of anything that happens outside.
Yeah, we
our
appreciate
borders.
that. We appreciate that.
In fact,
Yeah,
there was an
don't get-
Italian prime minister who had to resign when it was revealed in the press that he wasn't having an affair.
But no, I'm not Elliot Spitzer, but I do approve his message.
Now, Hillary Clinton, who is still hanging in there to be candidate, she compared herself to Rocky recently whilst campaigning in Philadelphia. What did you think of that?
See, here's the thing Hillary doesn't realize. Is when you compare yourself to Rocky, you have to pick which Rocky you're comparing yourself to.
Good point.
Because there's a lot of
That's a
Rockies.
good
There's
point.
6 Rocky movies.
Yeah.
Okay, now if you're comparing yourself to Rocky and Rocky 1, the guy, tough guy, bouncing a ball on the street. He's trying, his girlfriend works at a pet store. I respect that Rocky, okay? He's punching meat in a butcher shop. He's working hard. He's trying to do what he can do to get his girlfriend from selling turtles, okay? So I respect that Rocky. If she's that Rocky, okay, maybe I'm interested in Hillary Clinton. But then all of a sudden there's Rocky from Rocky 4. This guy, he's a dick. He's got a robot. He's got dogs in a pool. He's swimming. There's a robot bringing him lunch. I mean, this Rocky is not my Rocky. Now, Hillary could be that Rocky.
Yeah.
She might be the one who's going to fight Ivan Drago and lets Apollo Creed die in the ring. She could be that Rocky. Do I know? Probably that Rocky. Or there's the most recent Rocky, Rocky 6,
Yeah.
who's just a fat guy who owns an Italian restaurant. What do I want that guy running the country for? So I think Hillary, if she's going to take the Rocky comparison, needs to be very specific about which Rocky she is.
I mean, she really wasn't clear about that, and there are 6 different kinds of president there.
And you know, then you could start making other comparisons. I mean, who's Thunderlips? Who's Clubber Lang? You know what I mean? I don't know the answers to this, you know? And then it's Bill Clinton, Adrian? I mean, what's going on over here? I don't know what's going on over here.
I guess if she wins that candidacy, she'll be hoisted onto people's shoulders screaming, boo!
Exactly.
Boo!
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. So, you know, clarify where this is going.
And a final question for you, American, comes from a man known only as Jamie, who writes, Canada, America's hat, discuss.
It goes back to what we were talking about earlier. If you're looking at the map and you're saying, where's America on the map? Yeah. America's a hot chick, and she's wearing a hat, and that hat is Canada. Let's just be straight.
It's more of a beret, really, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit, but, you know, that's what, you know, sometimes a hot girl looks hot in a beret, let's be honest. I totally understand what you're saying, and here's the thing. The only thing with Canada is you can't ever hang your hat in a hook. It's always on your head, and that's the only problem I have with Canada. Every now and then I want to take my hat off. My head's getting hot. Nothing I can do about you, Canada.
American, thank you very much for joining us. We'll have more questions for you in future weeks.
And congratulations on your increased popularity.
How you doing?
So if you've got further questions for the Americans' next visits, do email them to thebugle@timesonline.co.uk. And now, the section the world has been waiting for, the return of the world's most influential opinion former, weighing in at 350 kilos. From the United States, it is the American.
Two quick things. One, it's 350 kilos a lot. I have no clue. I don't understand. Just do it normal, like pounds. I don't even know what that means, kilos. What's that normal? What's that normal
What is your country's problem with deciding whether or not to accept decimalisation? One day it's on, the next day it's off.
I don't. Are you speaking French right now? I don't even understand what you're saying.
It's the will they, won't they thing. It's that frisson. It's like Ross and Rachel years ago.
Yeah, I got to tell you. By the way, I am thrilled to be here on Swimsuit Edition.
Oh, yes, you're welcome.
Anytime I can get the old banana hanger out of the closet, I am thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled. Because, you know, it's funny, because I know in Europe wearing a man thong is kind of acceptable, but here in America, people give you a lot of flack about it. But I figured since you guys are, you know, from over there, I could probably pull it off.
And I'm glad to see that your banana hanger is the good old Stars and Stripes.
Oh, you better believe it.
Every single state represented.
You better believe it. All 50, baby. All 50. And I'll tell you right now, Arkansas is not visible. And it is pronounced Arkansas.
There you go.
But I'm going to have to bend over for you to see which star that is, and I won't do that to you.
Oh, heavens to Betsy.
Just a quick tip for your listeners: if you're gonna go with the banana hanger, you know, the mankini, you're gonna wanna trim around the hedges. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna want to manscape. Because, you know, come on, you're out in public.
Well,
have some respect.
I've got to tell you, that is one hell of an entrance.
Hey, it's a Swimsuit Edition. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of what I'm about. I'm proud of being American.
Well, I'm very glad you're so proud to be an American, because you've had some fairly unpleasant emails from your fellow countrymen that have come into us, American, I'm afraid.
Really? Wow.
Brings me no pleasure to break this
Can't
news to you.
that. Are you sure they're not from .uk websites?
Definitely not. Definitely, this comes from a man who claims to be a true patriot called Nate Jonivan, who writes, I'm an American.
Wait, I'm sorry. Whoa. Go back a minute. What's this guy's name?
I'm sorry, I could be on the American side here.
Nate what?
That sounds French.
Yeah.
It's spelt Johnivan. John Ivan. It sounds like there's a man who's being indecisive with Christian names.
Yeah.
He's from Quebec.
Yeah. Exactly.
He writes, I'm an American, and I don't think your sample American speaks for the whole country, and it's not fair. He called America a woman. That's bullshit. America is manlier than a cowboy eating a still-breathing rattlesnake. America is John Rambo with technological advances of the Terminator and the light-hearted chubbiness of Jack Black. For shame, American, for shame. If the world were a playground, America would be the bully that knocks you off the slide, then gives you an ice cream cone that it's pissed on.
First of all, a cowboy eating a rattlesnake, could that be more homoerotic right there? I mean, let me tell you something, French guy, okay? I don't want to see a cowboy eat a rattlesnake, okay? I want to see a cowboy inside a woman, and if America's a woman, that's exactly where he'll be. All right?
That is the Wild West for you.
Yeah.
It's the frontier. Now, American, what are you going to do? Presumably you got a $600 rebate this week. Mm-hmm. I mean, what are you going to do with yours?
Well, I mean, I got to tell you, I mean, it's free money from the government anytime you're getting it. It's unbelievable.
Well,
I've actually already kind of spent mine.
Oh, really?
Well, just because I did what the president said, I just put it right back out there. You know,
Okay.
it hasn't come in yet, but I know it's coming, so I spent it.
Sure. So what have you bought?
I got a couple things. I got two 65-inch HD TVs. Got one for my living room, one for the bedroom.
Okay.
They're
Right.
sick, 1080p. They're all 1080p
Okay,
surround sound.
Hold on. What does that even mean? 1080p.
It's like it's got like 1080p, so it's
Yeah, but
like
what
just
does
like,
ATP mean? Well, I mean, what?
it means like well, because some of them are like 720i, so this one's 1080p.
Yeah, sure. But what does actually ATP mean?
Well,
That's what I'm asking you.
720 is a lower
Yeah.
number than 1080, and
Yeah,
I
that's
comes
true.
before P in the alphabet, so it's just all like up a notch.
So you've upgraded. Yeah, you've definitely
Exactly.
upgraded.
Well, I got rid of the 780i, 720i's, because
Okay.
I want the newest stuff.
You've gone up the
I want
alphabet.
the newest stuff. Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to go up the alphabet and up the numbers. I want to go up the scale.
So you've got these in your living room and your bedroom. So what have you got in the bathroom?
Well, bathroom I got a 32-inch, and in the kitchen I got a 50-inch.
Okay, right. Hold on a second. I mean, it's $600 per person.
Yeah.
I've got to tell you that.
Well, I'm not
probably
done. I
more
got
than-
more stuff. Hold on. I got a
What?
jet ski.
What?
I got one jet ski.
jet ski?
Yeah, new, because I have a jet ski, but I figured why not get another jet ski? Now's the time. Money's coming in.
Well,
get another one. And this
yes.
one's faster than my old one, and it's more like a neon green. My other one was like a hunter green. I didn't like
Right.
it as much. And then
yeah.
I got a jet ski care kit. Like it's a
Okay.
kit of stuff to take care of your jet ski. It's like a wax.
Yes.
By the way, I just want a quick shout out. Big Tony's Jet Skis in Bayonne.
Whoa, no,
Thanks,
no.
Tony. Well, no, it's
Oh.
just because I'm thinking maybe he'll give me a free wetsuit or something. You know, just.
Don't feel I can let this go without issuing a slight word of caution. That does seem you seem to have exceeded your $600 limit.
Yeah, I mean,
there.
I got a couple Xboxes and stuff too, and a couple Blu-ray discs.
Okay, you've spent too much.
Well, no, here's the thing though. You're not paying attention to the numbers because think about it. Like I spent all that money and I put it on my my credit card, right? And
Yeah.
now I got $20 a month for minimum payments. So I got you know do the math there. It's like 20 times what 30 is 600. So there you go, 30 months. It's almost 2 years of owning this stuff.
No, hold on a second. I mean, I've been doing the maths while you've been talking, and you're in serious trouble there. I mean, you don't own any of that.
No, I do though.
No, you don't. I mean, what I'm saying is you don't own that stuff because you haven't paid for it.
Oh, really? You're going to tell me I don't own it? Did I just watch American Idol on HGTV last night at my house? Okay,
Well,
what do you tell me? Some man's going to come in and take this away from me? I don't think that's going to happen.
Well,
it's
no, I
called
think
America,
I think that is going to happen.
We live well in this country. That's what we do. It's kind of the basis of the whole thing. The founding fathers wanted that. If they were HDTVs,
Right.
they'd be in the Constitution.
If
there were, when they wrote the Constitution.
I'm just saying that you may find that going from watching American Idol on your jet ski, you may just be sitting alone in an empty room.
I doubt that. I'll tell you why I doubt that. Because that's not what happens here. People, you get stuff. And that's what it's about. Living in America is about living. We stress the word living in America. Live. Don't come here to low-key. You don't come here to low-key. You live. You spend what you don't have because you know you're going to make it because it's America and people's dreams come true here. It's kind of the basis of the country. Look it up.
It sounded like you
Hold on.
You stressed all
Let me
those
stand
words.
up. Let me give a little twirl. Let me remind you about what I'm wearing and where I'm
Oh,
from.
God. That is graphic.
Have you got your George Washington water wings on as well?
No, but I'm going to put those down on my list of things to get.
No, stop buying things.
Well, I need, like, there's one or two other things I just need. Like, I wanted to get some new rims for my Toyota.
Right.
You know.
You're
'Cause have you
spending
seen
too
these?
much.
Have you seen these rims? They spin independently of the wheel. So it's
Stop.
like you're parked at a light, but the rim is still spinning. So people are like, is this guy moving? Is he standing still? Is he moving? I love that. Just to see the reaction on people's faces. It's worth the money. It's worth the
You're
money.
getting the world into a huge credit crunch by this kind of behaviour. You're jeopardising all of our lives.
When you say, I mean, I don't understand what you mean by credit crunch. I mean, credit card, you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying people are losing their homes around the world because of you buying
'cause
jet skis.
I don't think so. I don't think they are. I think those people have their own problems, and I have a jet ski. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing: if those people had a jet ski, they probably wouldn't be so depressed about losing their homes. You get out on the open water, you speed a little bit, you get the wind in your face. Things are okay. You remember, things are okay.
Oh, Andy, help me out. He's sounding like he's making sense.
Yeah, well, we've had another email from Amanda Mitchell, American, who is actually offering her services as a replacement American for you. She writes, I would like to offer my services should your current featured American ever become unavailable. Though I am the current American's polar opposite in many ways, I feel I'm actually overqualified for his position, as I have plenty to be angry about, seeing as I am financially destitute, liberal-minded female who lives in northern Wisconsin. So we're entering a battle between New Jersey and Wisconsin here. Who is going to come out on top?
Well, yeah, man, and I would have, I'll tell you this, everyone in America thinks they're more American than everybody else, and I'm proud that that's the country I live in. You know what I'm saying? You think you've got more to offer as American than I have to offer, and I'll tell you right now, I think living in Wisconsin is probably hell. So we've got a lot in common, and, keep the emails coming.
So, I mean, do you think being an American is kind of a competition? Do you think most Americans are in competition with each other for who can be the most American?
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything. Obviously, like, you want your house to be nicer than your neighbor's house, and you want to have better cars than your neighbor's cars, and, like, all the
more jet skis.
More jet skis, different jet skis. You want jet ski options. I mean, that's kind of the whole thing is about competition. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, like, you went to dinner at Applebee's. I went to dinner at Fridays, and I had twice as much food as you had at Applebee's. And Fridays, everyone knows, is more expensive than Applebee's, so I'm probably doing better than you are right now.
Right. Okay.
So it's like a way. You never say that out loud. You never. But, I mean, Amanda did, which is weird. But I mean, you'd never say it out loud other than that.
Now, I mean, finally, who would you say at the moment is the most American person alive? American? Do you have a name there?
Reverend Wright. Because that guy just says what's on his mind, and that's what America's all about.
That's true. That is a good point. I mean,
freedom of speech, and he takes full advantage of that.
That's right. I mean,
full advantage.
In a way, this nation was built on dissent. He's the most American man you could possibly have.
Yeah. I mean, you can't stop him. He's like a freight train. You just can't stop him.
He's stretching the freedom of speech to and beyond breaking point.
Completely, yeah. And the things he's talking about are so American, It's about how black people and white people are different. I mean, that's very American.
That is quintessentially American.
Quintessentially American. I mean, the whole country was based on that concept. And we moved away from it over the years. And I think a lot of people are saying, why did we move so far away from that? And then here comes an American saying, hey, let's move back. Let's take a few steps back to what this country was founded on. Hardcore racism. And I think, there's a lot to be said there. I mean, my whole life I've been taught, don't say, black people and white people are different. And here he is, hey, black people clap like this, white people clap like this, And I'm like, oh, yeah, way to point out those differences. I love that. I love that.
You got some white friends, they'll be clapping like this.
Hey, look at this. So I don't know what I'm doing. My hands are just going the wrong way, But, he explains that very clearly, which I respect,
Yeah.
And I know, like, a lot of white people, like friends and family, who have a lot of things they like to point out about black people in public, and we always keep it within our homes, So I feel like Reverend Wright now, he's put it out there. I'm sure a lot of other people will be coming out and saying some interesting things.
He's uncorked the bottle.
Yes, he has.
Pandora's box has just swung wide open.
Sure. When in the end of Indiana Jones, when they open the Ark and everyone's face melts, we're like a week away from that. So, Amanda, stay in Wisconsin, okay? We're nice, safe, and sound out there, all right?
American, as always, thank you very much for your insights into the greatest nation in the world.
It was illuminating and it was intimidating. God bless this land.
If you'll excuse me, I have to go hang my bathing suit on a flagpole.
Do keep your questions for the American coming in with all your other emails to thebugle@timesonline.co.uk. Due to the American being so eloquent this week, I'm afraid we don't have time for any of your emails. We will have a special email section next week. And hopefully the return of the Bugle blog. Family commitments permitting.
Ladies and gentlemen, when there is this level of excitement in my voice, that can only mean one thing. Please welcome the one, the only, apart from 300 million others, America!
How you doing? Nice to see you. How's it going?
Hello.
How are you doing today, American?
Oh, yeah. Couldn't feel better. I mean, what a week, huh?
Do you just feel good whenever you look down at your passport? Is that what gets you going in the morning?
You kidding me? Sometimes I'll have the flu sometimes, and I'll open up the little safe under my bed. I shouldn't have told everybody where my safe is. But I'll open up that safe, and I'll crack open that passport. And I've only been at, like, a couple of places, like I was in Canada once, and then, I was in Canada once, and then, But I'll look at that stamp, and I'll go, yeah, that's right, baby. No trouble at customs with this thing.
What was the best thing about going to Canada? Was it visiting another country, or was it coming back to America? Did you just enjoy coming back in?
Yeah, I actually just made a wrong turn. I was just going to look. I was just going up to Niagara Falls, to look at the pristine beauty of the American side.
So, the general election is underway now. You've got 2 candidates to choose from.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we're very excited over here. Big time.
It's been a very expensive run-up so far. I mean, you really are shelling out some money on this election.
Oh, yeah, big time. But I'll tell you right now, I've said this before, and I know everyone agrees, this is not just President of the United States, it's really President of the world, so it should cost a lot of money. Well, think about it. What are you going to do, have an event and not drop thousands of dollars in confetti and balloons on people? I mean, that's just not fiscally responsible. You have to do that.
There's a lot of controversy at the moment over the vice presidential...
Now, when you say controversy, you mean controversy, right?
I mean controversy.
Gotcha.
Do you think Obama might select Hillary?
What are you, nuts? She's like the girlfriend you can't get rid of, Yeah, sweetheart, we broke up 3 months ago. Stop showing up with meatloaf, all right? I'm not hungry, okay? Jesus Christ, she doesn't take a hint. I can't even believe it. Yeah, I mean, look, you have her as a vice president, then you got to deal with her nutty husband. This guy's going to be walking around the friggin' Oval Office in a dirty bathrobe making sandwiches in the kitchen. Hey, I know that guy. Hey, what are you guys talking about, foreign policy? Let me get involved. Shut up, get out of here, Put some pants on. Jesus.
If you could choose any American in the whole of America to be vice president, who would you personally choose?
Oh, that's a good question.
Wow. With either of the 2 presidents? Yeah. That's a very, very, very good question. Politician-wise, I don't think any of them are good. I think they're all bums.
Yep.
What about Ted Strickland?
Yeah. Ready? I don't like him.
I got a hot tip from a friend who said Ted Strickland at 25-1 is going to be Obama's running mate. I'll
tell you right now, that's something you should get in on. Forget who's going to be it, but get in on the betting because you can make a lot of money on that.
That's a whole other aspect, of course, to American democracy that bookmakers get so involved in it as well. I mean, you can bet on. I suppose in a way your vote is a bet in and of itself. You want to back the winner all the time. You don't want to lose.
Absolutely.
Although I guess you've pretty heavy losses the last 8 years.
Well, it depends on, your side. For me, it's been a victory every year, I mean, but, depending on how you feel, I mean, I think that America's made some pretty pristine choices the last 8 years. And
really?
Yeah. I mean, I think the unfortunate thing for a guy like Bush is that he's got a guy like Cheney, brilliant political mind, has no interest in future politics, which I think is probably a pretty major disappointment of most people across the board, because that's the kind of guy you need up there, a guy who thinks and acts. He doesn't talk a lot, he just does things.
So are you saying you'd vote Cheney?
Yeah, you got to respect the guy. I mean, even if he's done some things that maybe people don't agree with, but he's done some things. You look back at other presidents, they haven't done anything. He's done things.
He's making sense again, Andy.
Just the act of doing something to me makes a politician better than one politician better than the next. He did something. Most of these guys just talk in circles. Cheney goes, I got an idea. Maybe we'll go kill some people. Okay, boom. Those people are dead. There's not a lot of talk. I like that.
He's not a thinker.
No.
He's a doer.
Well, yeah, he thinks and then he does. You know what I mean?
You're right. I suppose of all the criticisms you could level at Cheney, saying that he was inactive would not be fair.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, we have some emails from other people for you coming in. Andy?
Yeah, this one comes from someone known as Snowden Gardasick, who
Wow.
writes...
First of all, I'm sorry. I can't imagine grade school was too fun for Snowden Gardasick.
The first 17 years of Snowden's life must have been a battle.
He must have been thrilled to get to college.
Unless he
I'm
went
guessing
to
a very liberal college.
Unless he went to a very expensive Swiss school in the mountains.
He's from Houston in Texas.
Okay. It would have been fine.
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, he's fine. That makes perfect sense.
Throw money at the problem.
Yeah, I take it back. I apologize, Snowden.
And he writes, Dear the American, I've decided to join the armed forces, but I'm not sure which branch. Between the Navy and the Army, which is more American?
Wow. Ooh. That's a very, very good question.
Well,
Snowden.
They're both pretty American.
I'm going to tell you right now, thank you for doing that. Either branch you choose is a good branch. I mean, I think that what you need to think about, and I really do honestly respect your choice to do that, and we all do in here in America. Thank you for making that choice. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you join the Navy, keep this in mind, there's a lot of water. So if you don't like being on boats, go with the Army.
Good advice.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
That is excellent advice.
I don't know if you want to spend the whole time in the... I mean, I know me. I go out on, like, a pleasure cruise. I need to take Dramamine. You know, so you know, if I were you, I would just be careful about that.
And I don't think this is thought about enough. So much of the Royal Air Force in Britain is frightened of heights.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, that could have been headed off at the start.
I think that would have been smart.
If you don't like water,
don't join the Navy.
Yeah.
If you don't like flying, don't join the Air Force. And if you don't like walking, the Army might not be for you.
American, have you ever joined the armed forces?
have you ever thought about serving?
Yeah, no, I was gonna, but then, like, you know,
Because I would have thought you'd be very good in a combat situation.
well, yeah, no, I got natural leadership abilities and stuff.
You
Well,
love your country.
No, I
that's-
love my country. Yeah, definitely love it.
You can take your Hummer out for a spin.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, you do definitely get to drive cool vehicles. I thought about it for a while, but then, you know, I was so busy with my job at the thing. I was working for a while, so I couldn't. And then after that, maybe I don't know. I'm older now too, and I'm a little flat-footed. I'm not gay or anything. I'm just saying, you know.
No, I mean, there's absolutely no
there'd
connection.
be no other reason that I couldn't join.
When there's no connection between flat feet and
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, I
just
can run and stuff. You know, I mean, I'm definitely in really good shape.
But I mean, there's no connection between that and gayness either. I mean, gay people can run too.
Oh no, I'm not saying they can't run. I'm just saying, you know, like, you know, it's, obviously you don't want like a gay guy fighting for you. You know what I mean? And then I mean,
really,
you know,
right?
I don't want to be disrespectful, but that's kind of ridiculous.
Interestingly, I mean, California has just passed some very liberal and some would say moral laws on gay marriage. How do you feel about gay marriage?
I got to tell you, I actually think it's the right thing, and I'm going to tell you why. And this might shock a lot of people. I'll tell you why. Because I think gay people have had it too good for too long. Okay, and that's why they're always so happy. Okay. You know what?
They are naturally happy.
And you know what? You understand the miseries of marriage, and let's see if you're wearing jean shorts and a rollerblading around town singing a song, okay? Because believe me, it will destroy your soul. So let them experience the misery the rest of us have experienced, okay?
American, thank you once again for joining us and
Always a
sharing
pleasure
your
to be
wisdom
with
us.
you too. Oh yeah, happy to.
You know what that music means. You know who is on his way. Please, be upstanding, put your right hand on your chest, and let a single tear spill down your cheek as an eagle perches upon your shoulder and shits out a red, white, and blue solid piece of gold. It's the American!
Hey, everybody, how you doing?
Hi, American.
Now, hello, American. Very exciting for the Bugle. The American we have sent to Beijing.
That's right.
You're in Beijing. Hello. What is hello in Chinese?
Not 100%, but I hear everyone here keep saying me how, me how. So what I do, I go like this: me, how you doing? Huh?
How do they react to that?
Not one laugh. These people here have absolutely no sense of humor. Not a funny nation over here.
How is it over in Beijing at the moment? Are you having a good time?
I'll be quite honest. I'm unimpressed. I'm ready to get back. Ready to get back.
You're unimpressed with Beijing. The city just hasn't impressed you in any way.
Well, I mean, you know, you go to the things that they say are great. Like I saw the Great Wall of China.
Yeah.
And I'm going, oh, yeah, okay, so it's a wall. What do you want me to do about it? You know?
They don't want you to do anything about it. They want you to appreciate the incredible craftsmanship that went into it years and years ago.
When I think about the things I deal with every day back home, like I have something in my car called Easy Pass, right? I don't even have to pay for a toll booth. I just drive right through and it's automatic. I mean, that's a lot more impressive to me than some big old wall.
No, that's not as impressive. That's not the same thing at all. That's less impressive than the Great Wall of China.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's pretty cool. There's no traffic, nothing. You just zip right through. Going across the GW Bridge, you kidding me?
What, do you think we should get some Chinese tourists to enjoy that, just to stand by and take
I'm
pictures
just saying, you know, as things progress, you should move forward. A big old wall, I don't know what that really does for your country. I mean, like, in other words, if we wanted to attack China, we could just fly over that. It's dated technology.
I suppose that is fair. It's not the defence it once was. I'll give you that.
Well, this is what weirds me out about being over here. There's a guy, the best men's trampoline guy in China.
Yeah.
Is named Dong Dong. Okay? I know for a fact that there's no one on the American team for any sport whose name in Chinese means penis, penis. I know for a fact. I feel like the first thing you do when you're naming your kid is you look up in a book, does my kid's name mean penis? But the cool thing is I'm 12 hours ahead of everybody at home, so I've been giving everybody the lotto numbers and stuff, you know what I mean?
Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Don't tell us what happens over the next 12 hours.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of in the future, so I know already who won the election and stuff. It's pretty cool.
So you've been out there watching the Olympics as well. I mean, have you been enjoying that?
The best. It is the best. You know, I'll tell you why the Olympics is so great, because America is number one at everything. And
Hold on.
that's something, that is to me what the world should realize after these Olympics, that we still got it and we're still number one, we're the best.
But I think that's the opposite of what the world is realising, isn't it? I think people are realising that China is number one and China is the best.
Not really. I think most people are realizing we're still the best and that being Americans the best. And if the world wants to be anything, they should be just like us, because we win everything.
To make Britain the third greatest country in the world, according to the Olympic medal table. So I guess that's something for us to cling to.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you guys haven't really won that much stuff, though, right? It's like rowing or something. I don't know.
Whoa. Britain's doing extremely well. We're third in the overall medal table, and that's what happens if you top-load the Olympics with sailing and cycling. We'll crush you at those.
Yeah, all right. I don't know. All I know is we're number one, and we're the best, and the world knows we're the best, and that's why it's good. It's a perfect time to have the Olympics, because it felt at some point like there was some doubts around the world about who's the best, and now everyone knows the best is us still, and stop asking.
So, the great American hero of this Olympics has been the swimmer Michael Phelps. Have you met him out in Beijing?
Well, I haven't met him, but I saw one of his races, and I could tell you this. You know, I've been in America. I've traveled a little bit, and I've been to SeaWorld, and I've seen things. I've seen whales and dolphins and things, and I could tell you it's that good. And I was actually tempted to throw a beach ball in there and see if he'd knock it up with his nose. I'm telling you, this guy he's got to be part something. I'd check for gills if I were you. You know what I mean? This guy.
Are you seriously saying that Michael Phelps is as good as SeaWorld?
The difference with SeaWorld is, you know, there's better snacks and stuff just because it's America.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But, I mean, is there not an argument that, in fact, Michael Phelps is British in a way? I mean, if you, like me, don't recognise American independence, then he's in fact the second greatest British swimmer that's ever lived.
Yeah, well, I can tell you something, actually, along those lines, and I see what you're trying to do, and I don't appreciate it. I can tell you this. What's great about our country, this is truly what's great, is whatever athlete is the best at whatever they do from whatever country, we just take them, and then they become American. I mean, some of our best gymnasts are Russian or Chinese. I mean, our coach, we got a nutty coach named Bella, Russian guy. And, I mean,
That's not his name. That's not his name.
Something like that, but he's Russian, but he's American. I mean, it's brilliant. In 2012, you're going to see a lot of those really good 10-year-old girls who are on the gymnastics team. You'll see them on the American team.
Is that how you regard the Olympics then? It's like a big shopping mall from which you
it's
can...
like a shopping mall, exactly. You know, it's like, to me, the Olympics is, for everyone else, is like tryouts to be on our team.
I mean, this is your first time ever leaving America. I mean, how have you found being away?
I'll put it this way. I'm ready to come home, and I'm not going to really be traveling much anymore. I actually threw away my passport out here just because I decided I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to travel.
Yeah, well, I mean, I understand that, but that means you're going to need that passport to get back into America. That was a mistake.
No, I'm an American, and they'll let me back in. Believe me, I won't need it.
Well, you sound really confident, but they are going to want to see your passport.
I doubt it. I'm sure what are they going to do? Tell me I'm not American? You know what I mean? Give me a test. It's fine. I'll pass.
What test would that involve?
I don't know. Some kind of patriotic exam. I mean, I don't know. I don't need to study. Just give it to me. Yeah, I mean, I have my driver's license. It says, New Jersey on it. No problem. I'm in.
Well, I'm glad that you're so confident. I mean, I worry you are going to struggle at U.S. immigration, but,
you cannot fake a New Jersey driver's license. The technology that they use to create that driver's license is so advanced, it cannot be fraudulent.
Well, good luck coming back, American. I mean, hopefully you get back to the land of the free and the home of the, what was it?
You know what it is. It's brave.
It's the brave.
Okay?
Well, thanks very much, American, and we'll speak to you again.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ni hao.
Me, how you doing?
Now it's time for the section which could not be more relevant than it is right now. You know him, you tolerate him. In a worldview, you are dominated by him. He bleeds red, white and blue, mostly red, but he insists the white and blue is there. Please welcome the American!
Hey, is this thing on here? USA, mic check, you. USA. Check 1, 2. USA. Number 1. You got that? Yeah.
number one.
That's right.
That's a lovely little addendum.
USA number 1. Just making sure the mic's working.
Isn't there a rumour that that is going to be the new name of this country? It's going to be renamed USA brackets number 1.
I mean, it's implied, but yeah, we might as well stick it on there.
Before China nick it.
Yeah, China, please.
Well, how are you doing? How are you doing, American?
I'm feeling fantastic. 100% fantastic.
It's quite a democratic show you're putting on for the world here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it just proves democracy still is the greatest political system in the universe.
Are you sure it doesn't prove the opposite of that?
No, it's the greatest.
Really, it's definitely the greatest.
So is free market capitalism. Boom. Taking care of business.
Well, you say that, but, you know, really, it seems like you've taken the world to the brink of economic meltdown since we last spoke to you.
Look, just because the world's on our bandwagon is not my problem. You know what I'm saying?
Just
Just because everyone follows everything we do. Hey, oh, look, America's economy's in trouble. Hey, let's do that, too. That sounds fun. You know, we get it, world, all right?
But obviously, there's been a few controversial comments from Sarah Palin this week about the real America and pro-American areas.
Yeah.
I mean, how have you reacted to that as an American?
The truth is, you know, I'm a little offended because I came up with that theory like a year and a half ago.
Oh, right.
And now they're stealing my talking points without giving me any credit.
Oh, right, so you're not actually refuting the statement? You're just
No, I've
claiming
been saying this
ownership
for years. There's a real America and then there's the BS America.
Right, so where's the real America?
It's where the real people are. You know what I'm saying?
Where are they? That sounds meaningless.
Well, that's because you don't understand true meaning. And I'll explain this to you. It's very simple fact. You got these people, you got these, like, you know, city elites, you got these elite city people.
Yeah.
They want a cup of coffee, right? So where do? They go to a place like Starbucks. It's like $2 for a cup of Joe, right? So, but then you got real Americans, they go to a place like Dunkin' Donuts, it's like $1.89. Right. So, you know, they're saving over 11 cents. Fiscally more responsible, and they understand what real America is. You know, they're not drinking wine lattes on their way to yoga practice or whatever you people do.
No one's doing that.
I don't know about that.
So are you saying that the difference between the real America and fake America is 11 cents? It's a mathematical difference.
It's just understanding that wherever French coffee they're serving at Starbucks shouldn't pass through your American lips. You know, but a place like Dunkin' Donuts, that's a real deal. That's small town America. That's a real mom and pop kind of place.
No, it isn't. It's the opposite of that.
I disagree. Dunkin' Donuts are in small towns across America. Therefore, they are a small town American shop.
So how pro-American are you, American? I mean, where do you fit on the Sarah Palin scale of pro-Americanness?
Yeah, because she loves this country more than most people.
Well, that's the thing. It's like you got to realize, it's like everyone goes, oh, the president's got to be smart and understand the world and, you know, maybe speak another language, but that's garbage. Right. What we need is, the whole point is you know, we the people, and I want someone like me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, maybe she didn't finish high school, you know, or, you know, maybe she can't do math, but, like, those things aren't relevant in leadership. Leadership is about saying stuff like "Go America" and you know, waving flags and stuff, and, like, maybe wearing, like, a pin. Have you noticed how small Barack Obama's flag pin is? I could barely see. I have a 75-inch television, and I could barely see this guy's flag pin. Sarah Palin comes on my TV in HD, and boom, I feel like I'm living inside a diamond-encrusted flag pin. That says America to me in a different way. I don't even need to hear what she said. I put it on mute, and I'm saying that lady cares more.
Do you think the presidency really should just be a contest for who loves America the most pro-American?
That's all it's ever been.
Right.
That's all it's ever been. And somehow along the way, people got confused and started going, oh, we need people who understand the broader good, the greater thing, you know? And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. I think that you got to look at it like this. The world, no matter what, is going to do what we do. Look, we just brought this up, the economy. Our stock market doesn't do well. China, we don't want our stock market to do well either. We want to do what the Americans do. So it doesn't matter who's driving the bus. They just have to care the most about America. Right. The other countries are just going to do what we do anyway.
In which case, are you thinking about running for office? I mean, you love this country.
Yeah, but I got some photographs out there. I don't think, you know what I'm saying, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I've done some things.
I don't want to know what you're saying.
Me either. Me either, right? Yeah, just kidding. Just kidding. Tina, I'm just kidding, Tina.
We had an email from a bugler who wanted to point something out to the American. Do you have it there?
Yeah, it's in fact from Skeeter Vance. who, on the subject of the origins of baseball, he's suggesting that baseball, the supposed cornerstone of American culture, was in fact a British invention from the year 1755.
There you go.
And he refers to an article in no less a source than Sports Illustrated. And apparently there's a diary entry from 1755 from a man called William Bray. After dinner, went to Miss Giles to play baseball with her. That's 1755. He's playing baseball with a lady. What do you make of that? That's got to be wrong on so many levels.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I listened to everything you said, and there's one fact in there that you guys missed and overlooked that it absolutely proves this story to be false, is that this guy had a diary. I mean, what kind of man has a diary? So obviously any man who's man enough to play an American sport like baseball is not going to keep a diary, which means Sports Illustrated was wrong. I doubt. I mean, I read one issue a year, Swimsuit issue, because that's really the only one that matters. But I would say that it's false, and that Skeeter Van Buren, or whatever that guy's name is, should do one of two things. Either learn to play cricket or move to America.
Whoa, whoa. So you refute the allegation that Britain invented your national pastime?
100%. And we've gone through this before. The greatest things in the world have been invented in America.
No,
baseball, food,
what? No,
cars,
that's
airplanes, boats.
Not true. No, you didn't invent boats.
Yes, we did.
You were invented by boats. We have been through
We've
this
gone
before.
through this before. I don't want to have this argument. You invented wood boats. We invented speed boats. Speed boats are real boats. Wood boats are like for museums. You may have invented the concept of buoyancy, but we perfected it.
And so how did you invent food? What did people live on before?
Whatever was out there. I mean, we processed it and we figured out how to make it last longer and and have flavor.
So it wasn't food before it became
In
processed.
other words, yeah, like what's cheese? It's just mold. But what's Kraft cheese? Delicious. I mean, in other words, cheese doesn't come in individual slices wrapped in plastic. We invented that.
Right, I see. And that's how you think it's best served.
Yeah, conveniently. How am I supposed to eat cheese in my car if I can't do one at a time?
You're not supposed to eat cheese in your car.
I'll dispute that.
It's called living life the way I want to live it, American style.
And finally, American, we heard a lot about Joe the Plumber this week. I mean, how do you feel? Do you feel this is a media construct, that he's kind of a fake?
This is the best way I can explain real America. Look, clearly we're heading towards an apocalypse, okay? That's clear at this point. Now, after this apocalypse goes down, there's going to be what we call a post-apocalyptic world. Now, of course, things like the mail will still be delivered, because we've seen that Kevin Costner movie, and that's the most important thing to people in the apocalypse is delivering mail bags.
View on a Costner film.
Well, I would. And, I mean, come on, the guy's made 4 baseball movies. You think he knows a thing or two about America. But I'll tell you right now, when you're in this post-apocalyptic hell, you're not going to want some, wine latte guy helping you out. You're going to want a guy like Joe the Plumber. You want a guy who could build a shanty town.
Right.
You want a guy who can start an engine on a car that we invented. You want a guy who can, unclog a toilet if we do have plumbing at the time. Yeah. Those are the types of people you want around. Real Americans. Right. I don't want some guy who's going to be crunching numbers, because numbers are irrelevant. What's relevant is shooting a bow and arrow into a squirrel's head so I can have dinner. And that's why Sarah Palin is the right choice at this current moment.
Oh, no. So, I mean, you're going to be voting for Palin, are you?
If I could write in Palin, I would. But, yeah, I just think we have to look at the reality of America. Right. Like I said, if we're going to be living like vagabonds, we need someone who knows how to field dress a moose.
And who do you think is actually going to win?
McCain, Palin.
Right.
100%.
Oh, he's down, but he is down in the polls.
Yeah.
Is this just a joke by America on the rest of the world?
Well, I mean, look, I'll put it to you this way, right? I'm no Nostradamus, but I'll tell you right now. You go to an elementary school and you look at the wall of presidents from the first one till right now. Yeah. What do they all look like? John McCain. If you watch baseball and they say this guy, every time he's up in the 3rd inning, strikes out, what normally happens? He strikes out. It's called statistics. So statistics are never wrong. And statistically speaking, John McCain will be the next president of the United States. You heard it here second.
Are you registered to vote, American?
Not yet.
No. Right. I mean, in many ways, that's the most American
thing. Well, you don't really
of all.
have to vote. You know what I mean? You just have to have an opinion. That's
right.
Kind of, because you figure there's enough people out there voting. You don't have to go do it.
Right. But you just have to have a firm opinion.
Yeah. And go to a drive-through on election day. Any drive-through.
I will go to a drive-through. Absolutely. Dairy Queen or something.
Honked twice for McCain.
They got a strawberry cheesequake I don't know what they did. They put cheese in like the earth and it quaked it up. I don't know how they did this, but it's delicious. Like I said, we invented food. I'll put it to you this way: there's nowhere in London the Queen can get a cheesequake.
I'm afraid that is true.
Okay.
And that's,
So enjoy your cup of drip, Your Highness.
Well, American, thank you very much for joining us and
It's always a pleasure to see you guys.
helping me understand and perhaps be even more frightened by the world than I was before we began this conversation.
Nothing to be scared of. America will always overcome.
Okay.
Always. That flag will always be waving. And you know why? Because we have one on the moon.
Yeah.
And no one's going to mess with that one. Except maybe India, but we'll talk about that next time.
American, thanks very much.
But first, recorded live in Las Vegas. So explosive we had to sit on it for a whole week to stop the world's axis simply snapping in half. Let's get ready to be humbled. It's the American and the American's brother in a special Ask an American and an American's brother.
Well, it's Las Vegas, and really Las Vegas is the epitome of America. It's the unofficial capital of the United States of America. So who else, who better to bump into in the lobby of Caesar's Palace than you know him? He has irritated you. He's provoked you. He's made you think. Please welcome the American.
All right, how you doing? It's good to be with everybody in Vegas.
Well,
Go time, huh? And I'm very excited to introduce. I got my brother down here with me. We're doing a little. We're looking at some property down here. It's a boom. It's a boom right now down here. It's a real boom.
It's unbelievable. You can get like condos. Forget about it. It doesn't even cost nothing.
You have no idea. We can just. Right now, we're buying up strips of desert like it's useless land.
you shouldn't do that. Really, your economy is about to implode. So
Really?
don't do anything drastic.
Always do the opposite. That's what I heard.
That's what I
do the
like.
opposite. If the economy's in the tank, buy.
Yeah, that's what our dad always said.
That's bad advice.
That's what our dad always said.
What's got us into this
Let me tell you something too. Before our dad went to prison, he used to say, "Do the opposite."
Yeah.
That was his defence, wasn't it? So, American's brother, are you a property expert?
Not really, but I got money, and I kind of have a keen eye for this sort of thing. And I saw the desert, and I was like, "Whoa, look at all this sand."
Yeah, but let's be honest. Let me tell the true story. We were up one night and we were watching Star Wars, the original one, and we're looking at Luke's place, and we're thinking if that's what the future is going to be, we should get in now.
Yeah.
Because they live right in like a desert thing.
And he was smart. He was like a Jedi warrior.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean,
hold on. Let's not cite him as a business model. That man didn't exist. That was a character.
Says you.
But on the flip side to that coin, you look at another movie where the future's a little less beautiful, and you look at a movie like The Road Warrior, again, desert landscape.
No.
So either way, the future does hold a lot of desert potential.
You're setting yourself up for a financial disaster here.
I don't think so.
Says you.
Yeah, this is Vegas.
This is America, baby.
Smart guy.
There's no way to do anything wrong.
Yeah.
So, I mean, will you be gambling, the two of you, while you're out here?
Obviously. Because think about this. If you were going to put, let's say, I'll make up a number, $100,000 down on some land. So if we gamble it, we could put down $200,000. We can double our money.
Yeah.
I lost all my money already. Most of it anyway. I got a little left for tomorrow.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I don't even know the game. It's like Pingao. It was a Chinese game, man. I didn't even understand what they were saying.
Yeah.
I just kept putting my money down. One time I win, 2 times I lose, 1 time I win. It's 1 step up, 2 back with these guys.
Yeah. That's why I'm telling you right now. Anytime I see one of them Chinese games or whatever it is, Hebrew, I don't know what friggin'
But they're doing the Chinese math.
I don't know what's going on there. The guys,
I didn't understand nothing.
you guys spinning an abacus around, all of a sudden I'm out $50. I don't know what's going on.
Vegas is a little bit of an anathema to us in Britain. We don't gamble much in Britain. It seems relatively.
I would put it that maybe you guys don't know how to live.
Yeah.
Right. Would you say that Vegas is the greatest city in the world?
I would say America's the greatest country, so where within a city as great as Vegas, it may be one of the greatest cities in the world. Of course, my preference would always be the Big Apple. But in Vegas, you have a small Big Apple called New York, New York.
I mean, just outside this Hotel Caesar's Palace, which is, some might say, a really horrifying version of ancient Rome, there is an Eiffel Tower, which seems to me almost racist.
Well, I'm not going over there. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
I don't care for the French.
Yeah.
Period. End of sentence.
Now we can agree on something.
There's one hotel in Vegas I've never been into, and it's that one.
Sometimes I'll go by there and I'll give the bellhop guy. I'll just give him a rap in the mouth.
You shouldn't do that. I mean, that's assault.
Does Vegas have its own laws? I mean,
Oh, God, no. There's no law in Vegas. That's
No
why
law at
everybody
all.
comes here.
Right.
Wild
I mean,
West.
you want girls, you want gambling, you want fisticuffs. Whatever you want, you got it. It's Vegas, baby. Light it on fire.
Light it on fire.
I mean, I see that you're actually that's not a real gun, is it?
Yeah. It's a 350. It's a 357.
But don't worry. I got the bullets. I'm not going to give him the gun and the bullets.
Until later tonight when we get loaded like a franchise. You know what I'm saying?
That's right, baby. Double down.
You should not be carrying a gun around.
Double
It's
down.
not loaded. You heard him.
Double down.
What's the big deal? Jeez. Everybody's so freaky about the gun. It's not loaded, wizard.
Obviously, it's Thanksgiving coming up.
God bless.
Well, yeah, I mean, what is that?
Oh, man, it's a celebration.
Most beautiful holiday
Yeah,
of all
right.
time.
I mean, it's in the name. Hello, Thanksgiving. We're giving thanks for being Americans.
Yeah.
No, hold on. That's not. I don't think that's.
Listen,
what it
we're thanking the Indians for so easily giving up all their land to us.
No, because they gave it to us.
We
We're
sat down with the Indians.
We sat down. We said, are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
And they were like, here, take our land, take our corn.
They were like, give us some of those sweet Vegas style casinos. You can have whatever you want. We're like, no problem.
Yeah. The Indians and the Pilgrims, they got together, and the Indians were like, welcome to America. Here's our land. Have some corn because it's going to be a long winter.
Yeah.
And we were like, no shit. That's beautiful.
Yeah, we were like, no shit, that's beautiful. And then what happened was we were like, yeah, here's some guns and a little bit of land.
Right.
And thanks for everything. You guys are great.
Yeah.
And then I don't know where they went. I guess they moved to something, but we got all the land.
I don't want to issue a nasty surprise, but that is absolutely not what happened.
Okay, Frenchie. Why don't you tell me what happened?
It's just like when the Brits ran away after we threw their tea in the water. You know what I mean? Same thing.
Well, I'd rather you didn't bring that up. That's still a little bit sore.
What you got? I mean, what's your point? Okay, so look. Oh, another thing we do, big thing in Thanksgiving, very important, killing the turkey.
Oh,
and it's not just eating.
that is fun.
That's after. Find the turkey. The turkey hunt and kill is the best part.
It is fun.
Hold on, that is not a tradition. Of what? A turkey hunt
It
and
is
kill.
We used to do it. Like our dad used to take us. He'd say, what we should do? We should do it with knives.
Yeah.
And we would just go out, no guns, just knives.
We didn't have a 357 back then.
Yeah, we did not.
Knives
we
and
did not.
hatchets.
But tonight, I'll tell you what, we'll get a turkey tonight in Vegas, no problem with that gun.
Can I just ask you on the subject of Vegas and its position as a great gambling centre? It has actually been overtaken by the city of Macau in China as the world's largest gambling centre.
Macau.
Do you not think being overtaken by Macau is it's a real slur on American manhood, isn't it?
Nah, it's a joke.
Well, if it was happening, yeah, it's maybe worthy of war, but it's not happening.
Well, hold on. Two things. One, it is happening. It's not worthy of war.
Whoa, hold on.
Hold on a second.
You telling me China's the #1 gambling center in the world? You go yourself. Okay? Because Las Vegas, my friend, in the U.S. of A., that's where you go to gamble. That's where the world goes to gamble.
Okay.
Not some place called Macau.
Yeah, and I got another thing to say. Does Macau have I'm going to say two words, and you tell me if they got this in Macau. Celine and Dion. Do they have that there? No.
No, they don't have no.
Wait, I got another two words. Bet and Midler. Do they have that there?
No, they don't.
Okay,
How about Chris Angel? You got that over there in Macau?
Anyone in China that can fly? Doubt it.
Yeah. If the day ever dawns when Macau outdoes Las Vegas, the next step, mushroom cloud. That's it. That's it.
I would say I wholeheartedly agree with my brother as usual. By the way, might I add, that is the opposite of what everyone would expect.
Andy, I think it might be safer just to give him this one. I don't know where you stand on this. It's just he does have this 357.
Right. Well, that doesn't concern me, John. I'm in London.
Well,
Bullets
there's
don't work
something about
here.
the way he said mushroom cloud as well.
Hey, we should play Russian roulette tonight. That'd be fun. I'll give you one bullet.
No, don't do that.
Yes, do that. Give me the bullet.
We'll do that. No, we'll do it. We'll get 6 hookers and we'll play with them.
Oh, no.
It's legal. That's legal here.
This is the worst place in the world. This is the worst place on earth.
This is the easiest place to get hookers. What are you talking about?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, kill me. Kill me. Give me that gun. And
No bullets.
I'll
I don't.
shoot myself in the head.
Double down tonight. Don't forget.
Oh, we're going to double down.
We're gonna double down. Double down.
I don't know what that means.
It's a betting term. It's high-stakes gambling.
You got to double down.
Forget about it. You don't know.
Andy, let me ask you a question. When you go out at night and you gamble, you double down.
Not habitually, but I'm Jewish, so I'm not sure we're allowed to.
Yeah, no, you're allowed. You can double down. I know a couple of Jews who double down.
Yeah, what do you do over there anyway, Andy? What kind of name is that? Funny. Say it, Andy. No, Andy.
Yeah, I never
Andy. What do you do over there?
It's funny. I talk to him all the time. I never thought of that. Andy.
Andy. Say it like that. Andy.
Andy. I think they've gone.
Doubled down.
All right.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's back, right. Well, best of luck to the American and the American's brother.
The American and American's brother
Have left the building.